Australia is a country comprising the mainland of the Australian continent, the island of Tasmania, and numerous smaller islands. It is the world's sixth largest country by total area. The neighboring countries are Papua New Guinea, Indonesia and East Timor to the north, the Solomon Islands and Vanuatu to the northeast, and New Zealand to the southeast. Australia's capital is Canberra and its largest urban area is Sydney. For about 50,000 years before the first British settlement in the late 18th century, Australia was inhabited by indigenous Australians who spoke languages classifiable into roughly 250 groups. After the European discovery of the continent by Dutch explorers in 1606, Australia's eastern half was claimed by Great Britain in 1770 and initially settled through penal transportation to the colony of New South Wales from 26 January 1788. The population grew steadily in subsequent decades, and by 1850s, most of the continent had been explored and an additional 5 self-governing crown colonies established. On 1st January 1901, the 6 colonies federated, forming the Commonwealth of Australia. Location: the smallest continent, Australia, lies completely in the southern and eastern hemispheres, lying between the latitudes 9 degrees south and 44 degrees south and longitudes 112 degree east and 154 degree east. Australia is the 6th largest country in the world. It has an area of about 7,69,02,024 square kilometers. Boundaries: Australia is surrounded by the Pacific Ocean to its east and Indian Ocean to its west and southwest. The continent is bordered by Timor Sea and Arafura Sea in the north, Coral Sea towards northeast, and Tasman Sea to its southeast. The continent of Australia is divided into 2 parts by the Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degrees south, a larger northern and smaller southern part. Australia, along with New Zealand and other adjoining islands, is known as Australasia. The island country of Australia with Canberra at its capital is divided into 6 states and 2 mainland federal territories. The state boundaries of Australia are mostly straight lines except those bordering Victoria and New South Wales. Fact: Australia is the only continent without an active volcano. Political divisions: the continent of Australia is divided into 6 states, namely Western Australia, South Australia, Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria and Tasmania. The other political divisions are the centrally administered territories of Northern Territory and the Australian Capital Territory. The states of Australia are bordered by straight lines as they do not follow any physical feature as the natural boundary line. Only New South Wales and Victoria are separated by a natural boundary line following a river. The major cities of Australia include the capital cities of the states and the major ports. Canberra is the capital of the Australian Capital Territory. It is the national capital and lies within the state of New South Wales in the southeastern part of the continent. Perth is the capital of Western Australia, is an important port city lying on the southwestern coast of Australia. Darwin, situated on the northern coast of Australia, is the capital of the centrally administered Northern Territory and an important international airport. Sydney, the biggest and the busiest seaport and airport of Australia, is the capital of New South Wales. Melbourne, which is the capital of Victoria, is also an important industrial centre and port of Australia. Other important cities include all the capital cities of the states of Australia and the ports of Newcastle, Fremantle, and the industrial centres like Townsville, Kalgoorlie, Coolgardie, and Alice Springs.